Tre and Morez up here. Raise your hands. We'll get the mics to you for questions for these two. You want to start us?
Morez, getting your first career double-double as an Illini, how'd that feel, and what'd you have working?
Felt great. You hear me? It felt great. I've been waiting a long time to come here and play for the University of Illinois, so it felt great getting my first double-double and a win.
So, Morez, Coach, he talked about disciplined defense for you guys. You guys held Eastern short of 40 points. Just want to get your thoughts on that.
Coach had us hold us to a standard every day in practice and games. Like defense is what that's who we are. So we got to defend every day. So what do you expect from us?
Whereas Coach talks about your communication on defense being a huge asset, I guess, what do you see and what do you say on the court that makes you such a good communicator?
I just say what I see, and I just if nobody's on the ball screen or anything, I'm just talking. Letting them know I'm supporting the right side or the left side, just making sure they hit me on the court.
Morez, today was the first time we saw you and Tommy on the floor for an extended stretch. What did Coach Underwood say he wanted from you guys in that kind of lineup?
He just wanted to test something out different that we haven't done yet. We were supposed to try it the last game, but unfortunately I was in foul trouble. But we just trying to see how to be with both of us on the floor at the same time. It helps rebounding.
Tre, obviously you
My bad.
sorry. Tre, obviously you were productive on the glass as well with 11 boards. Was that an emphasis for you going into this game?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like for me, I just always try to find different ways to impact winning, with versatile guys like we have. So just trying to get us extra possessions and stuff like that. So tonight we did a good job of that.
Tre, through five games now at Illinois, how's that transition? How are you fitting into your role here?
I love it. We're a great team. We got a great relationship off the court, which makes it easier on the court for us. Like I said, I feel like we're the most versatile team, one of the most versatile teams in the country. So just being able to, build that relationship every day and just play at a high level, you can't ask for anything better.
Tre, you know what it's like to try to establish yourself in college basketball. What are you seeing from Morez to be able to do that? I know defensively against Alabama, he was very good, and then to have the double-double tonight.
Yeah, he's dominant. I tell him all the time, bro, you don't even know your strength. Like, he don't even know, what he could tap into. And I feel like it's a blessing for me to be able to, give him some of my tips too and learn from him too. But just being able to be this young and come onto the court early and produce consistently, that's a real skill.
Morez, what did you see from Will out there? 19 points all in the second half. I think that's the fourth time this year he's been over 14 points. Just how do you size up his effort tonight?
Hey, Will stayed with it. He was having a hard time in the first half, but he picked it up in the second half. Will's a straight out scorer. Like he know how to get to the rim, get his, and he got a great touch and stuff like that. So he a great basketball player.
Morez, I just want to ask, what are just some things you've picked up from just competing against Tommy so far?
I know how to play against bigs that just don't roll to the rim now. I can guard outside the perimeter, close out, move my feet. Being versatile, he helped me with my game.
Yeah, for both guys, in the locker room on the Illinois basketball Twitter feed, you saw Coach Underwood say today, after the loss at Alabama, was another chance to get better. How'd you guys get better today?
I feel like that's, one of our staples that we stand on, just constantly trying to win, not accepting losses. So, yeah, of course, we took a L, but we're trying to learn from it, make it a lesson. That's kind of our motto. So, definitely, I just feel like we executed that today. Coming with more bite, more grit from the jump is kind of what we hold our hat on.
For either of you guys, holding the team to 40 points, they only had 6 points in the paint. How'd you feel about that bite defensively today?
Coach talked about protecting the rim every day. He preached that to us, so we made sure we protected the rim, guarded the ball, and took pride in defense. That's who Illinois is, so we making sure we stay with that standard and be great defenders every day.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, it was nice to bounce back and do a few things and that were positive. Really, the highlight of the day was the first media timeout, and play the football teams. I don't want to say miraculous, but I mean really good outcome, and kind of look up and see that, and And that was the highlight of the first half anyway, for sure. But congratulations to Brett and the guys getting a road win. You get a road win in the Big Ten, and it's always a great deal. But yeah, that was the highlight of the first half. I thought defensively we were pretty good, so I shouldn't make light of the job we did. Shaw came in here as one of the top scorers in the country, and again he got a little taste of Kylan Boswell, and no points at half. I think they were 1 of 12 from 3, 15 points. I thought we did a much better job of making it difficult for him. I think he saw a lot of bodies. I thought Ben was much better in terms of giving support and helping as well as Tommy was. But and then I thought KJ was everywhere. KJ had 4 steals at half. His hands on a lot of basketballs. We did a good job of just guarding them in a night that we didn't shoot the ball very well. So, you know, it's nice to win 47 or 50, whatever it was, and shoot 25% from the 3. So, hats off to Tre. I thought Tre was outstanding in the first half, 8 rebounds, his energy. You start to see what he can do defensively when partnered with 2 other guys who are pretty good. And Kylan's exceptional, and it gives you size and athleticism, and so I was very excited for Tre and thought he did a really nice job on the defensive side. So and then Morez had 6 at half, you know, a double. It's nice to see him get rewarded on the offensive side and do some positive things. But we need Morez. His 8 minutes and 4 fouls the other night at Alabama obviously change a little bit of the outcome of that game. So we've got to have him playing smart and staying out of foul trouble because he truly impacts us.
Brad, there was a play, and Ben Humrickhouse looked over to the bench and says he's left hand, right? And it was like a scouting mistake right there. How much is that a part of some of the defensive struggles that you've had, or before prior to this game, is just learning the level of scouting and the detail that goes into it?
Yeah, mistakes cost you at this level. A game in which most games are decided by a couple of possessions, you sure can't afford to have scouting report mistakes that you cover it and you work on it, and that's a player's responsibility is to understand that. You know, it's at least in our program. I don't want to say everybody does that, but you know, I always go back to the Michigan game a few years ago with Io, and we had two scouting report mistakes the entire game, and so it's getting guys dialed in. That's why I say the defensive side takes a little longer. That's why I was upset at Alabama. You know, we don't give up middle drives very often, and you know, Ben happened to be a big culprit of 3 or 4 of those, and you know, so it's just getting guys acclimated to what our fundamentals are and then handling the importance of managing a scouting report.
Coach, Kylan Boswell, obviously more assertive offensively these last 2 games. Is that something that you had talked about with him, or something he took upon himself just to be more aggressive?
No, he's a really good player. And, you know, he's a 40% career 3-point shooter. I mean, his ball's going to start going in. I want him to take shots that are the right shots within the framework of what we do, and that they're good quality shots. I want to see him continue to play off 2 feet. You know, he's a guy that's, as a smaller guard, is not going to get away with playing off 1. When he plays off 2, he had 2 of them in the second half. He just went off 2 feet and he got fouled. So it's just continuing the growth part of that for him, but it's being aggressive and knowing where his opportunities come from, and you know, I thought he and KJ both were aggressive early. We knew they were going to go under our ball screens, and you know, for whatever reason, they're both good shooters and didn't make them.
Yeah, Brad, today was the first time we saw Tommy and Morez on the court for an extended stretch. Morez mentioned earlier that the plan maybe was to try it against Alabama, but his foul trouble kind of got in the way. What were you looking for?
Yeah, he pretty much screwed up his opportunities there for me to see what we were doing. Yeah, we'd like to be able to play that. I mean, It gives us a tremendous advantage defensively. It gives us a different look than what we have with Ben. I think we can also slide Ben to the 3 and play bigger some. So, we've tried to look at some of those things, and like I said, today gave us an opportunity to look at a little bit of that. I also pretty much had a mindset if the game got out of hand, I didn't want to play anybody more than 24 or 25 minutes either. So I kind of got a little hesitant to try to do that much in the second half.
Coach, you highlighted Morez in a double-double. I wanted to get your thoughts on just the play that he had there with the and one, just not giving up on that play.
Morez gets winning. That's one of the things that, if it was just about what play you run or what defense you play, everybody would win. It's not. It's about rebounding. It's about running the floor hard. It's about diving on the floor for loose balls. It's about making not the first effort but the second effort. And when you become really good, you make the third effort. Will Riley dive on the floor, Morez on the floor, guys fighting for those things. Those are winning plays. That's what our culture's been here from day one is figuring out how to make winning plays, not being afraid to make winning plays, sacrificing for your teammates. Morez is a winner. And that's I can't give him a higher compliment than that. And he's gotten that instilled in him at a very young age. And, he's one of the reasons he fits us, so doggone well.
Brad, it's not often you see a team have only 6 points in the paint. You guys had 9 blocks. What did you see in terms of the activity at the rim?
A little better than Alabama, huh? But I think it's an opportunity that for us to continue to grow. We've talked about it since Alabama. I thought we did a poor job in that area. Now, NBA level guards at Alabama, and Alabama arguably is one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the country, probably. So, it was a good learning lesson for our guys, and. But I thought our challenges were much better. We didn't stay flat-footed. We took bumps and hits and we clogged it. I was very worried. I mean, you get a score averaging 24 a game, and it was about him seeing bodies, and I thought we did a much better job of challenging those.
Towards the end of the game, you got to experiment with Will at the point guard position. I guess, what did you see from him, and what would you like to see with him as the primary ball handler?
Yeah, we do it every day in practice. So it's the first time that, it's not just him. Really, we can play a lot of guys at that spot. But it was just he was in a pretty good moment offensively. I've always been one of those guys that's going to ride that, and he's got size. He can pop up over people. He's shooting a pretty high percentage from 3. Again, they went under, so a lot of it was just jump up and shoot it. And but he got downhill. He got in the paint, and those are things that he's very capable of.
Will's had a couple games where it's kind of been a slow start, but then he turns it on in the second half. What's that say about him to handle kind of adversity and be able to bounce back in the second half?
Will just hoops. Will just simply I'm going to use the guy's name, Michael Beasley, that I was around at Kansas State, and nothing phases them. Nothing phases Will. I mean, it's he had a tough first half. He got at Alabama, and he missed 3 or 4 and easy ones. He missed a wide open 3, and okay, it just doesn't. He just plays the game, and the thing I was the most upset about him in the Alabama game was he took contested 2s with about 20 seconds on the shot clock. I also understand he's probably going to make some of those, but he missed a couple guys. He had Tommy wide open on one of them for a 3. Today he got downhill, and when he learns to continue to get fouled, I mean he's a those are what lottery picks look like. So, but he just plays. Nothing phases him. He plays in the moment. He doesn't play. He's got a gift to not be worried about what I say, not be worried about a missed shot, a bad half. He just plays in the moment and takes what the game gives him, and there's tremendous maturity in that.
Coach, one-day prep for Little Rock. Have you had a chance to look at film on them, or what are some of the things to expect?
I looked at their defensive possessions before the game of the last night, and very similar. We're going to see a team that mixes up defenses. This is a very good Little Rock team. Let's not forget they could have been an NCAA tournament team last year. I think Moorhead beat them in the championship. They got a lot of guys back. They're very, very long. They're very, very athletic. They got transfers. They're going to play really, really hard. They're you picked to win their league or right there at the top. So, they missed a 3. I think they could have made that game pretty interesting last night. Late, they got down really early, 13-15, but fought back, and that's a good basketball team, and we're gonna have to play better than we did tonight. On the offensive end for sure.
Brad, in the post-game clip we all saw on Twitter from the Illinois basketball Twitter feed, you mentioned at the end that today was another chance to get better. What did you see today that made you think you guys got better?
Well, I loved us defensively, and I can't tell you how excited I am about Kylan and what he's doing and the things he's saying. And I saw Kasparas take a step today, 4 steals, and I like our physicality on that end today. I liked our rebounding. Now that's not one of the better rebounding teams in the country statistically, so it was something we should have done. In a night when you didn't shoot the ball very, very well, and then I thought we did a much better job offensively, kind of moving the ball and playing with pace, and I feel like half the time our guys are stuck in third gear. We haven't got our guys, or second gear maybe. I think we just play too casual offensively. And there was a play tonight where Draven ran to a corner, Ben ran to another corner, and Will got a layup because they ran to the corner. And they did their job. And when we don't run in space, well, then it takes Kylan and Kasparas and Will. It takes in Tre. It just screws up your whole spacing. And I just feel like we're playing, and I thought in the second half we grew tonight in that area. It drove me nuts watching us play against Alabama because we never ran. Ben Humerkaus runs a 4:19 mile. He can run. He can run all day. Run. Tre White can run. Our bigs can run. And we just have to get out of this casual mindset that we're in, and that's I think I saw some improvement there today.
So, Brad, after 5 games, I wanted to just get your assessment on the team and how they're settling into their roles and just kind of understanding those roles.
I think we're still working on it. I know I am. It's hard because it's some of these games have been like this, and I still want to see combinations. I want to see Carey and Ben together. I want to see, Morez and a bigger lineup together. I think we've seen a little bit of a smaller lineup. So I think all those things still define roles. I think I'm a little more comfortable now after 5 games maybe with substitutions, trying to figure out, I screwed up the other night. I took KJ and Tommy out at the same time, and KJ was cooking in the Alabama game, and I left him out way too long, and I overthought it, to be very honest with you, and that's on me. But I'm starting to get comfortable with my patterns of where they can play and how long they can play and what they can do, but still a long ways to go there.
Brad, obviously a productive night from Tre. On the note of roles, what do you want his to look like in terms of what you're asking from him?
Yeah, make open shots, play really hard, guard your tail off, and go get 11 rebounds every night. And there's going to be opportunities for him there when we space properly to get shots, and he can be a really good driver. I think he missed 2 right at the rim tonight, but he's a great cutter. He adds that to us. He was. I always go back to our Butler scrimmage. I mean, he just diced him with cuts. But it's he doesn't have to overhandle. He doesn't have to be a guy who tries to do too much. Just what he did tonight, and he's going to get opportunities to make some threes because he's a good shooter. But I was really proud of him defensively. That was one of the things that excited me the most.
Coach, Ben takes a high volume of threes. Obviously, he's a good shooter, but there was a play tonight where he had kind of attacked the closeout and took it to the rim. What's his complete skill package look like, and what you want to get out of him?
He's very capable. He's very capable. I want Ben to be just a efficient player. He's a gravity guy. He's one of the best shooters in college basketball, and I want him shooting. I don't want him ever turning down a 3. If he's got a clean look, those are going to become probably harder for him to find as the competition level goes up. If not, teams are he'll make them pay. But he does have the ability to shot fake. You saw him the other night at Alabama, sidestep, shot fake, sidestep for a 3. He has the ability to drive that. He's a really talented offensive player. He's got a pretty complete package on that side.
Just a side note, did you see Ed Cooley's comment?
Guys told me about it. I mean, that's not even worth wasting my time on, and it's I don't know what he was referencing that about, but and with Jaden had a productive freshman year here, but I'm not getting into what all that I'll let our fans and everybody else have some fun with. I'm sure they probably are, but you're not. I got Arkansas, Little Rock to worry about, and Arkansas to worry about, and Northwestern to worry about, and everybody else to worry about. Whether I don't read your guys' stuff, I'm sure the heck not going to read his.